state that we will be looking at is Kerala, where too there seems to be a favorable response for the Congress, for the UPA-led alliance. So let's quickly take a look at the figures. My colleague Akshita takes us through them.
Well, moving on to the one state that seems to have politics of a completely different order from the rest of the country. Yes, God's own country, Nishita. We're now moving into Kerala, and the numbers will be a little different from what the rest of the country looks like. Here we have two main players, the Congress, or of course the UDF, or the LDF, which is the Left Democratic Front. And all along, of course, in 2009, we saw LDF have a major boost, and that was, of course, because of Mr. Achyutanandan. This time around, it looks like they could have a bit of a problem in their hands. The Congress may just beat them to it. They may go ahead and reign supreme in Kerala. These are the numbers for you. You can see, according to ABP, NDTV, and CNN there, it looks like they're all gunning for the Congress in this particular state with 20 seats to go, and with the LDF facing a lot of problems with the CPI, the CPIM, the number of bonds we see. It looks like this may be in favor of the Congress this time around.
Well, in fact, there we have it, the figures for Kerala tilting in favor of Congress this time around. My colleague Nolan speaks to, once again, my colleagues who have been closely tracking Kerala as a state and all the political developments in it. Well, Nolan, over to you.
Well, Nishita, Kerala politics may not be as interesting as Andhra Pradesh's politics, but yet it's important. Now, to talk more about Kerala politics, I'm joined by my colleague Verghese Abraham, who has travelled a lot through Kerala. Now, Verghese, the first question is, will it be a left, right, left in Kerala once again?
Well, that could be a change in the rhythm of the march past this time, Nolan, because the way the left has moved this time for this particular Lok Sabha elections is very different, because it's not a united front as it should be. Two senior leaders, Achyutanandan and Pinarayi Vijayan, have been fighting it out in the public. And only now, just before the elections, like 2 months back, it looks like the prodigal son, Achyutanandan, has returned to the party, and they are showing a united face. But the public memory which they have created of a divisive left front still remains. Also, Nolan, one of its constituents, it had been RSP, the Revolutionary Socialist Party, which has been part of the left front, has in fact moved after a 30-decade relationship into the opposite camp, the UDF. So there is a dissertation also coming in that regard, and because of it, left politics seems to be a little different now. So will the march past continue? Will the rhythm change? Well, it seems this time it's going to be very difficult. Normally what happens is, just most of the time, the Lok Sabha elections happen when the assembly that has been voted into power, that party, it comes after around 2.5 years, the Lok Sabha elections come. So normally people actually value or give their reply to the government in power in the state at that time by voting in the Lok Sabha elections. But this time the trend seems to be a little favorable for the Ummanchandi government. The UDF seems to be getting the upper edge in spite of the corruption scandals that have been there. But the left is a divided house, and this time they might not have that kind of an edge which they normally do have in a left-right left movement.
All right. Now, you have some stats over there ready to show us and explain more. Can you do that?
Well, this was how it happened in 2009 in the elections. If you look, there are only 4 seats which the left front won, and even in the northern part of Kerala, it was only in Kasaragod that they had it, and it was the UDF that won in Kannur, which is very interesting because it is considered as the birthplace of the left movement in Kerala. So, and then we have it only in Palakkad, Alathur, and in down we have only in Attingal. So it looks like in these areas it's the Congress that is going to remain, and this map could remain blue when in the coming elections also, Nolan.
All right. Now, Verghese, what is actually going right for the UDF? What are they doing right that everything is working for them, and what's going wrong for the LDF?
Well, the UDF as a constituent has been able to make sure that all its smaller parties have been given the right share of seats. It's been able to make the matrix perfect. While in the left, it's still a lot of bungling between the CPI and the CPM. And now with RSP gone out, they are actually having a void in certain parts of the state, especially in the central Travancore region and as well as the southern Travancore regions, where they're going to face a lot of problems. But the UDF has been able to align, especially with the movement with regards to the Kasturi Rangan report, with regards to hill farmers in the Western Ghat belt. So it was, in fact, Ummanchandi who came out and opposed the report first, thereby tapping into that anger, and he was able to, in fact, make sure that UDF made inroads there. left couldn't actually be able to take in account of that, and because of that, they've lost a lot of voter base in this regard.
Right, Varghese, thank you very much. In fact, back to the studio.
Well, thanks, Nolan. Well, if you look at the southern end of India, they seem to be telling a different story, don't you think so, Shashwati?
Not really. I mean, again, coming back to the same point, it is possible to discuss southern India this elections without mentioning Modi. That, in short, really is the story of southern India.
Because as you can see, there is no Modi wave. There is no impact of Modi. In fact, the BJP has a very small presence there, very small, minuscule. And, you know,
and you know, the changes of equations where the RSP has switched sides, etc., you know, which means strong leaders like M.A. Baby. And that is probably just adding greater value to UDF. And in any case, left, not just in Kerala, but countrywide, needs to do some very serious introspection about the phase of leadership of Prakash Karat. I think that is a must do for
otherwise they could risk becoming irrelevant.
If they already aren't.
If they already aren't.
Yeah.
Let's be a little more charitable to them, Mr. Vaz. You think they've become irrelevant already?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, if you look at West Bengal, the way Mamata Banerjee is sweeping the polls, or all opinion polls, obviously CPM seems to be already on the way out. Because and
Kerala
they
is the
have
only
no
remaining
chance
area.
of recovering anywhere.
Kerala is the only remaining.
Maybe, yeah, Kerala, and
How
then
many
perhaps
sitting-
Tripura, and which is what?
How many sitting MPs do they have in the left in the existing parliament?
In Kerala or
In the
overall?
existing parliament?
It showed 13.
Can you clarify for me? But the election commission saying that we are not banning opinion poll. Earlier it was a different stand. What was the reason he gave? He said that it is a people's opinion, we can't curb and all that. But technically, I don't know why he allowed it, first of all, because scope for manipulation, which the sting operation really exposed. And then now, of course, S.M. Krishna and others, everybody is saying that this is completely, results will be completely different from the opinion poll. So is there any other point he said, election commissioner?
No.
While allowing.
Mr. Sampath said because they have to amend the act and empower the election commission to ban opinion poll. They do right now. They don't
Under
have
the
that
present
power.
act.
Under the present act, they
How-
don't have that power.
Till now, how did they manage?
No, they same situation. 48 hours before the polling, they ban all exit polls and opinion
I'm
polls.
talking about
Exit
opinion
polls are
poll.
banned.
Exit polls
Opinion
are
polls
different.
are allowed.
Opinion poll.
Opinion polls are going on. That's why they said they can't do it.
That's why we are here today too.
Yes.
No.
In fact, there was one opinion poll. In fact, it has not been mentioned in our graphic play, but we did come across, and it gave 10-10 to both LDF and UDF, and it said that probably the anti-incumbency feeling against the UPA could have a bearing on the UDF. Do you
Was
think
it
that's a
CSDS?
possibility? No, that wasn't CSTS. CSTS has a different outcome actually.
It will be interesting if the opinion poll agencies are asked which way AAP will affect, because the Congress is claiming, or at least hoping, that whatever the BDP, the votes they were about to take it away, now AAP will take away those votes, and then it might help us sometime later or things like that. BJP thinks that all the things about the positive about Congress snatched away by AAP, and then it is helping us. Both of them are claiming the same thing, but I don't know what exactly, in which favor the AAP will affect. Will it work against BJP? Will it work against Congress?
I think, you know, he's raising a very valid point. Nationwide, this is a phenomenon you have to watch out for. In
But
pockets
specifically,
where
if
you
you can
have...
look at Kerala,
No, even if you look at Kerala, I think the question that Nishita was raising about 10 and 10, the way I would look at these opinion polls is it's at best opinion polls, which is an opinion, right? So it's not a sacrosanct number. It's not the truth. It's not something
It's a
that we
debatable
really need
number,
to-
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not a certification. It's only at best an opinion. Now, whether it's 10-10, 8-10, you know, 9-9, it's not important. I think what is important is what is the overriding voter sentiment in that state. Now, if the overriding voter sentiment in the state is for the UDF, then it means that that's probably the only place where anti-incumbency against UPA is not working.
Talking about AAP in Kerala specifically, we have a very glamorous media figure in place. So What do you have to say about her chances? Nachi, you worked with Tanita Pratap in the past.
I wish her all the best. And then, I don't know, all sorts of people are getting into AAP, and then all sorts of people who hated politics.
Did you try? Because all journalists are going there.
No, I'm talking about including Nilekani, who in his book has said that politics, in a very derogatory manner, and then said for entrepreneurs there is no scope in electoral politics. These are the things he did in Imagining India, and now he's there. So nothing wrong.
Imagination is always different from reality. You are well aware of that.
No,
No, in the
I
case
wish
of
her all the best because she is an excellent journalist going places. She's a ex-time correspondent, and she knows a lot about how she managed in Colombo and all that, interview with Prabhakaran and all that. But those things I don't know whether it will work here because AAP can take away sizable votes from Congress or BJP.
No, I just want to know who will AAP
Perhaps you know, Kerala being one of the most literate state, and then also well off in the sense the income limit or income standards of most of the families are fairly well compared to other states and other cities. So probably she might appeal to the elite.
That's right. In fact,